Welcome to NETRUSH Report, your home for tennis drama, rivalries, and raw emotion on and off the court. If you live for shocking twists, explosive battles, and bold commentary, make sure to subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss a moment. Now, let's get into Federer's theory and why it has the tennis world buzzing. At the 2025 Laver Cup in San Francisco, Roger Federer made a surprise appearance. The atmosphere was electric. Team Europe versus Team World, and the opening match saw Casper Ruud defeat Riley Opelka in straight sets. But the match wasn't just about the scoreboard. Something felt off. Opelka, a player who lives and dies by his serve, looked frustrated. Time and again, Ruud returned Opelka's bombs with relative ease. Opelka later admitted that the slow court speed was killing his chances. And then came Federer's commentary. On Andy Roddick's podcast Served, Federer admitted the courts were slow, and then dropped his bombshell. He suggested that tournament directors might be creating this kind of environment deliberately, chasing one specific outcome: more Alcaraz versus Sinner finals. Federer's exact framing is key. He called it a safety net. Think about that. Tournament organizers want to guarantee a fallback. They know Alcaraz and Sinner are the sport's biggest draws right now. Their rivalry is fiery, athletic, and marketable. It sells tickets, pulls TV ratings, and fuels social media. So, if slowing courts increases the chance of baseline-heavy, grinding, physically epic matches, then why not build tournaments to produce exactly that? But Federer isn't celebrating it. He's worried. Because in his eyes, the sport he dominated was beautiful precisely because of its variety. Grass played differently from clay. Indoor hard was lightning fast compared to outdoor. Each tournament had its own identity. And now, Federer fears that everything is blending into one, a slow, homogenized tennis that rewards just one style of play. Opelka's frustration echoed Federer's. Honestly, it doesn't even feel like indoor tennis, Opelka said after losing to Ruud. My serve should be a weapon here, but it's like hitting into sand. Other players have voiced similar concerns over the past few years. Big servers like John Isner and Matteo Berrettini often complained that the so-called fast courts at Masters events were being slowed down. Even Novak Djokovic once hinted that the ADP was taking away diversity by making all surfaces lean towards slower rallies. So Federer isn't alone, but coming from him, the criticism lands harder. After all, he built his reputation on mastering different conditions, adapting, and thriving when variety mattered. To understand Federer's criticism, we need to understand just how powerful the Alcaraz-Sinner rivalry has become. Since 2024, these two have completely dominated men's tennis. Every Slam final has featured at least one of them. Between them, they've split the majors, conquered ADP 1000s, and turned every showdown into must-watch drama. Alcaraz, explosive, athletic, full of flair. Sinner, icy composure, clean hitting, relentless focus. They're not just rivals. They're the storyline of tennis right now, and tournament organizers know it. Every promotional poster, every hype video, every ticketing campaign, it all leans on the idea of Alcaraz versus Sinner again and again. But here's Federer's point. If the sport is deliberately slowing courts to engineer these matchups, then are we really letting the rivalry grow naturally? Or are we manufacturing it at the expense of other playing styles? Federer also added another layer. In an interview with Tennis Channel, he wondered how long Alcaraz and Sinner can realistically dominate. And here's why that matters. Federer himself dominated alongside Nadal for years, until Djokovic and Murray disrupted the balance. Tennis thrives on rivalries, yes, but also on the unpredictability of new challengers. By creating a safety net around Alcaraz and Sinner, Federer fears that the sport might be blocking the rise of alternative styles, or even unintentionally shortening the lifespan of the rivalry by overexposing it. Of course, not everyone agrees. Some argue that Federer is nostalgic for a past that doesn't exist anymore. Tennis today is more global, more commercial, and more dependent on blockbuster matches to survive in the entertainment landscape. If slower courts produce longer rallies and higher ratings, why wouldn't organizers lean into that? Others say Federer is underestimating Alcaraz and Sinner, that their dominance isn't about the courts, but about their sheer talent. Even on fast surfaces, they've shown the ability to adapt and win. And let's be real, fans love seeing them clash. Aren't organizers just giving people what they want? This isn't just about court speeds. It's about the identity of tennis itself. Should tennis embrace uniformity for the sake of blockbuster rivalries? Or should it fight to protect variety, even if it means fewer Alcaraz, Sinner finals? For Federer, the answer is clear. Variety made tennis great. Variety gave us grass court specialists, clay warriors, and hard court kings. Without it, the sport risks becoming predictable, and predictability is the enemy of drama. Federer ended his thoughts with a warning. He knows better than anyone that dominance never lasts forever. For him and Nadal, the Djokovic, Murray wave arrived. For Alcaraz and Sinner, it could be someone else. Maybe Holger Rune. Maybe Ben Shelton. Maybe a player we haven't even heard of yet. But if organizers keep tailoring conditions toward their rivalry, what happens when that new challenger arrives? Will the sport adjust, or will it cling too tightly to its safety net? Roger Federer has always been more than just a champion. He's a thinker, a guardian of tennis tradition, and a voice players still respect. His latest comments, accusing tournament directors of creating a safety net for Alcaraz and Sinner, might sting, but they force us to ask some tough questions. Are we protecting the sport's future? Or are we protecting a narrative? Are courts being shaped by history or by TV ratings? One thing's for sure, when Federer speaks, the tennis world listens. And whether you agree with him or not, his words will fuel the debate long after this year's Laver Cup ends. This is NETRUSH Report, your home for the drama, the rivalries, and the raw emotions of tennis. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a story. Until next time, keep your eyes on the court.